Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. We are back. We are back. We are back. It's really been a long, long time. And I know you guys missed me. Of course, I missed you guys also. I still remain your wonderful host, Don Bogidon, and welcome to Sports with Don Bogidon on Don Bogidon Sportainment TV. And on today's episode, what brought us back here? It is the Champions League round of 16 draws. This has got to be the greatest Champions League season ever because everything we have asked from UEFA and the Champions League organizers, they have really given us. And I want to thank them for this format, this new format of the Champions League, starting from last season. This has been so awesome. So before I get into the draws proper, I want us to look at what has happened earlier. Like I said earlier, they have given us everything we have asked of them. Starting from the group stage games, we asked them to give us Bayern Munich and Chelsea. They did it for us, and we saw how that game went. Bayern Munich and Chelsea. Liverpool ATM. We saw what happened during the COVID era, and we saw the story once again. Then which other game? Which other game did we really enjoy in this Champions League? There is okay, let me see if I can go through these games. Okay, we saw a couple of games. We saw the Liverpool Real Madrid story. We saw the Manchester City Real Madrid story. We saw the Manchester City Dortmund story, the Haaland derby, if you can call it that. We also saw Real Madrid Juventus. This was one of the hottest fixtures back then in the early 2000s. Zinedine Zidane, Paul Nedved, those kind of fixtures. UEFA, you really did us so well. Then towards the match day 8, we saw Benfica Real Madrid. We saw how that game went. And during the qualifiers for the round of 16, we saw what happened again. Real Madrid Benfica. The story continues. So without wasting much of your time, let me remind you what really happened during the qualifiers. Okay, before we go to the qualifiers, let me show you how how those teams finished in the league phase. Arsenal, of course, topping. You can see the table there. Down to Manchester City, we finished 8th. It was a dramatic match day 8. It was a dramatic end of the league phase. As you can see, the halftime results, what it looked like during the halftime of that particular day, and what it looked like at the end of match day 8. So this season, I think it has to be the greatest Champions League season ever so far. So, like I said earlier, let me go through the results of the qualifiers. We saw Atleti pitted against Club Brugge. Of course, Atleti went through. We saw Inter Milan pitted against Bodo Glimt. And surprisingly, Bodo gave us the biggest shock so far in the Champions League. I know, I think it was Karabag that gave us one of the group stage games. But these qualifiers, Bodo Glimt, there is no looking down on them. Then Leverkusen pitted up against Olympiacos and they went through, of course. Newcastle against Karabag, Newcastle went through. Atlanta against Dortmund. I am really surprised how Atlanta came back to win this tie 4-1 in the second leg. Juventus Gala. That was a game. That was a game, and of course, Gala went through. Paris against Monaco. French teams, they know themselves, and Paris also went through. Real Madrid Benfica, I talked about this earlier, and Real Madrid continued this story. So let us look at the draws that were made just yesterday. PSG getting Chelsea. The story continues. It is the Club World Cup champions against the Champions League champions. The story continues. This has to be the greatest draw of this round. I know the Manchester City versus okay, I will get to that. Then Gala against Liverpool. That group stage game. The story continues. I know Gala won the game Victor Osimhen, but the story continues. Real Madrid against Manchester City. We are tired of this story. Let's have an ending to this story this season. We are begging you, UEFA, we are begging. Pep Guardiola against Ancelotti, Pep Guardiola against Xabi Alonso, Pep Guardiola now going to meet Abaloa. We are tired. We saw it in the group stage. We are now seeing it again. We saw it last season. This is supposed to be the greatest of the fixtures, but it has become too familiar for us. Then Atlanta against Bayern. It is a game to watch out. It is a game to watch out. Then Newcastle against Barcelona. The story continues. We saw this in the group stage where Marcus Rashford did his magic and they won 2-1 Barcelona out there at St. James Park in Newcastle. The story continues in the round of 16. Then Atletico Madrid against Tottenham. How did Tottenham get to this stage? People will ask, how did Tottenham get to this stage? And I always say, it is the miracle that led them to the finals and them being the champions of the Europa League. That is what got them here. Because I don't understand how Tottenham got here with their performance in the league. Anyway, that's by the way. Bodo against Sporting. A game is there to watch out. Sporting have not really lost too many games this season, but they should beware of Bodo Glimt. Then Leverkusen against Arsenal is a game to watch out for. So without wasting much of your time, let me just give you a few details on these games. We are going to do a preview when the time reaches, and this game is not far off. It will be played in the midweek of March 10th and March 11th. So get your things ready for the Champions League games. Chelsea versus PSG. A little things to drop into the game. We saw what happened in the Club World Cup final. Up to today, some people see that as a dream, because I still feel that is a dream. I have not woken up from Chelsea beating PSG. The story continues. Let's see what happens. And the most interesting thing in this game is that Rosinho, the Chelsea coach, have never lost to PSG since he stayed back there at France. Since he has been in France coaching football, he has not lost to PSG. Let's see what happens when this fixture arrives. Then Galatasaray against Liverpool. We saw what happened in the group stage when I said Victor Osimhen scored a penalty to win the game for Gala. So the game continues, and the most interesting thing is the last two games these guys have played, Liverpool have not scored against Gala. Gala have won the two games, 1-0 in 2011. I'm sorry, 1-0 just last year in the group stage, and then 2-0 in 2011. Real Madrid versus Man City. What else do you need from this game? What else do you need from this game? And the last 17 meetings between these two guys, Real Madrid have won 6, Manchester City have won 6. They have drawn 5 games. Now, the interesting thing is that Manchester City have lost just one game. Just one game at the Bernabeu in their last 7 games. They have just lost one. And Real Madrid have won once. Have won once at the Etihad Stadium in their last 7 games. So make of this information what you want to make of it. It's a very interesting game to see. Manchester City are just coming up. Their form has just been improving, judging from the last games they have played in the Premier League. They are not the Man City we know at the start of the season. And Real Madrid looks like their form are dropping under Beloa the last couple of games they have played. So what do I have for you? We saw how it ended last season. Real Madrid winning 3-1 and 3-2 to go through from that qualifiers. And in the group stage, like I said earlier, Man City beating Real Madrid 2-1, Haaland or O'Reilly for Manchester City. Newcastle versus Barca. The group stage story continues. How many games now? 1, 2, and 3. Newcastle against Barca. Rashford, will he continue writing the stories, or will Newcastle change their story and get a revenge? I don't know, because Newcastle and their players, they are having a series of injuries. Guimaraes and the rest are not available. So let's see what they can do against this Barca team that are beginning to find their foot again with their performances in La Liga. So that is it for Newcastle against Barca. Then Leverkusen against Arsenal. I don't have much to say in this game. Let's see what happens. That is the games I can pick on Then the easiest route on this draw has to be the Arsenal route, because I don't understand what is there. Newcastle versus Barcelona, Madrid, Atletico Madrid versus Tottenham, Bodo versus Sporting, Leverkusen versus Arsenal. Is this a way for UEFA to give Arsenal their Champions League? I don't really know. I don't really know. But on the other divide, we have potential candidates to win this. Chelsea have won it before, they are there. PSG have won it before, they are there. Liverpool are there. Manchester City have won it before, they are there. Real Madrid have won it before, they are there. Bayern Munich have won it before, they are there. So I don't know. I don't really know. But kudos to whoever makes it to the finals and wins this. It is the Budapest final. And for me, if I have to pick the teams that can make it to the quarterfinals, from Chelsea versus PSG, I think PSG will make it, and that will be a tie to see if Liverpool can make it against Galatasaray. I will beat Liverpool to make it against Galatasaray. And if that happens, the story from last season will continue. PSG versus Liverpool. That's what I want to see in the quarterfinals. Then Manchester City against Real Madrid. I see City going through. Atlanta versus Bayern. I see Bayern going through. And if that happens, I want to see the Manchester City versus Bayern quarterfinals. The Pep Guardiola derby, if you can put it that way. Then to the other side, Newcastle versus Barcelona. I see Barcelona going through. Sorry, Newcastle. Then Atletico Madrid versus Tottenham. Adebobo is there. I see Atletico going through. And that will set up a Spanish game I want to watch. Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid, the quarterfinals. Bodo Glimt against Sporting. For what Bodo Glimt have done against the Juventus, I still pick Sporting to go through on this. Then Leverkusen, Arsenal. Of course, Arsenal to go through. So these are my picks for the quarterfinal. Thank you for watching and thank you for being here. Always remember to like, to share, and to subscribe. These things are free. The buttons are there. Just click on it and join us on this channel. I remain your wonderful host, Don Ogidon. See you when we see next. Bye bye.